So I started the recording. So today's class is about the vendors, and we will be learning how to add a vendor, uh, or edit a vendor, or delete a vendor, or inactivate a vendor. Like normally these jobs that we are doing in our daily bookkeeping job.
Right.
So this is what we will be learning. And of course, we'll be learning how to create the bills, pay the bills, all of the stuff that those we normally do in our like accounting. We'll be learning today. So let's start working the exercise on page number in our like exercise book, which is on page number 62.
Which one?
And yeah, so we have to go
Page.
to exercise DYS chapter 3. So as you know, you need to click this one.
So which page we looking for?
We are looking on page number 62, 62.
Oh, 62. Okay.
So 62, page number 62. On
Yes.
page 62, the exercise we are working with will be DYS chapter 3. So click DYS chapter 3, restore a portable file, and click next. Your file is in your desktop Microsoft Office folder, and within that you have a folder of QuickBooks. So you will be going like all the way from the desktop to MS Office to the QuickBook, and then you will be finding the file DYS chapter 3. I'll be opening this file from my folder, which is like I like copy it, classes in progress, and I have this folder in this place. So I'll be opening a DYS chapter 3.
There.
There's a file, and then I click open, and then click next. So it will be asking me where to save. I'll say I'm saving all of my files in the same folders. I'll be just going to desktop, and then let me save it in the folder. I'm saving it inside this folder, and then I'm just typing my name after the chapter, and I'm just removing this company name, like company. I just type here Raza, and then saving save. I think I already work on this exercise with some other class. So let me save it as Raza 2 and save. So yeah, by the time it is saving, I just see your desktop and then see. So we'll be working on this exercise like average guide design. The password we already know. It's already in the book. In the first paragraph, so you can just type the password from here. You know the password, right?
Yes. All right.
Okay. And then you can just simply click OK. And then it says the QuickBook wants to update your company file. Always remember that if you don't update it, you will not be able to open this company file. So you need to update whenever QuickBook asks you to update your company file. Make sure that you click yes. If you say no, you will be thrown out of the QuickBook. This is you have to follow this instruction when using the QuickBook. Like QuickBook is very, very, very strict in this one.
Oh, okay.
Or you can say QuickBook is like QuickBook by force updating their softwares all the time. So you can, if you say no, then you will not be able to open the QuickBooks.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so once you do it, it will update it and then open the screen for you. I'm selecting I'm not the robot. Oh, sorry, I'm not the admin. And then click continue. Okay, and then we can start working on the exercise. First thing first, whenever I open the screen, the first thing I do is make sure that my icons are appearing in the top of the screen so that I can see more values from the right side, like my balance is another thing. So let me make it top icon bar. So now you see, I can see a little bit about my balances, like the checking account balance, saving account balance, other balance.
I don't see yours. My screen's open, so.
Oh, so you can make the screen like, just a minute. Let me pause the recording. When we created the vendor, by chance, we did not have the information about the vendor's phone number and address. We do not have that thing. Now we want to create those details about the specific vendor, uh, which is graphic supply shop. So first thing, if you want to open the vendor center, like if you want to do anything about the vendors, like either you want to add, edit, merge, delete, or whatever you want to do, you need to go first into the vendor center. So you can go to the vendor center using the three buttons. Like the first is here, like on the top tabs, and then you can click the vendor center button here, and you will be in the vendor center. The other way of going inside the vendor center is clicking the vendors from the icons here. Or there are another way of going into the vendor center is selecting the vendors from the front of the screen, or you can say from the dashboard. So see, there are three ways of going inside the vendor center. Once you are inside the vendor center, then if you want to add, edit, delete, whatever you want to do about a vendor, there are three ways of doing it. Either you can go to the edit option, and because you are in the vendor, you'll be seeing all the options about the vendor here, like edit, new vendor, delete vendor. So whatever the action you want to do are inside this one. Or you can do the right click, and you will have the similar options available, like edit, new vendor, delete vendor. So all of these options are available in this place as well. One more thing, you can also add a new vendor from here. You can see this option is also available from here. So there are three ways of doing the same thing, but right now we are working for the editing of a vendor. So if you want to edit a vendor, either you can edit from here, go and click edit vendor, or you can right click, select the vendor first, and then you can right click and do the edit vendor right from here, or you can double click the vendor. So let's we have to do the changes in graphic supply. So we will be double clicking the vendor, and then you see you are here, right? If you want to do another way, you can also click edit vendor. So you are on the same screen. So there are multiple ways. QuickBook is so user friendly that you can do one job, you can perform one job in multiple ways. So now let's start working with some of the things. Like we got the phone number of this company. So let's update those things. The phone number is 212 555 6743, right? And then the address is 302. So I can start typing address from here as well, but my practice is I always select the edit option and I make changes in this one. So I'll be typing here 302 E 44th Street, and then city is New York, right? And then the state is New York, sorry, and the zip is, or the postcode is 10017. Then you can simply click OK. Just in case if your shipping address and billing address is different, like you are adding a vendor, sometimes your vendor is sitting in some part of the world and they are shipping from other part of the world. Just to give you the idea,
Right.
I have been in the banking, so I know these type of transactions. Normally the vendors are sitting in Dubai and they are exporting from China. So their shipping address will be different. Their documentation address will be different. Their payment address will be different. So whenever you are billing your vendor in Dubai, but they will be shipping you from the China. So these type of things are happening a lot, like in America as well. The similar things will be happening, like maybe this customer, you can say office is in New York, but because the warehouses and everything is very expensive there, they may be making shipment from Dallas, Texas, or some other area where they can get the cheaper warehouses, like where they can save money in payment of renting, right? So this is also possible. So you will be built from their New York office, but when they will be shipping you, they will be shipping you from their their warehouses, which is like in an area which is like cheaper in rent. So it is also possible, but right now we don't have that information. We just have to copy. So like we want to copy the same information from this side to this side. Just simply click copy and then click OK. So now you have this information available here. Now we want to add a vendor. So again, the same thing. Either you can click, either you can click edit and new vendor. You can add the vendor from here, or you can click the new vendor from here, or you can right click and select the new vendor from here. So I suggest, of course, we can do it in three ways, but just in case if you don't recall anything, in whatever the window you are in, just click the edit button. You will get most of the options to work with this window within that edit option. So right now we are in the vendor center. If I want to add a new vendor, even I can do it multiple ways. Like I can right click and do the new vendor. I can select the new vendor from the top. But if you remember one part, that edit tab on the top is having those options available for this screen. So you can just simply go to edit and then click new vendor from there. So you will never forget at where to go. So I show you all the three ways, but if you ever forget, just remember the edit button. Edit button is containing most of the options for the existing screen. So
Right.
let's say we want to create a new vendor, click new vendor. And the name of the vendor is GJB Wireless. GJB Wireless. I can see it now. Okay. GJB Wireless, INC. And again, as we have learned that QuickBook is very much user friendly, like you can copy, Control C. You can bring your cursor here, Control V. You can also do it like manually, like drag the mouse left side or right side and select, copy it and bring it here as well. So
Mm.
uh, both the ways will work. Like it's like, because we have this class is about MS Office and QuickBooks, so we have already worked with the MS Office. So most of the options that we have used in the MS Office, you can practically apply in here as well, like copy pasting and other options. So yeah, so GJP Wireless, we have updated the name here. The contact person is Amir Dhanu. So Mr. Amir, last name is Dhanu. If the person's the middle name, you can also use the middle initial here, but right now we don't have the middle name, so we can like skip it. Job title is business sales representative. Business sales rep. And then the phone number of the company is 650 529 112. And then we have the address. So again, I can start typing from here, but I just avoid typing here because sometimes it make mistake. I just directly, or maybe we just, if we don't follow the strict like way of updating the information, we may make mistake in updating the address, and then it will not be like correctly appearing in other part of the application. So what we can do, we can just directly type it in the right places, which is open this address box using edit button, click it, and then you can just type the 721 Chicago Avenue, and then you have Bayshore, California. Bayshore, California. Bayshore, California. And then what else? Zip code CA 91547. Click OK. So now we have updated the contact details of this customer. Now we are
Right.
updating the payment settings. So once we get a new customer, we also update some of the important information, right? So for this vendor, what are the payment terms with us? They gave us, okay, the code for this vendor is E31W006. And the payment terms, like we have to pay them every 30 days. Like whenever we buy something, we have to pay them within 30 days, not 30.
Like
Right?
30.
And what else? they are service providers, right? So here we have complete the payment information. Now we go into the we have only the additional info. Okay, so we don't have anything for the tax information because it's a service provider, and service provider don't charge tax. And of course, if we want to put from where we'll be paying to this vendor, we'll be putting it into the account settings. But right now, we are not doing it. We only update the additional info. So additional info is like what type of services this vendor is doing. Either it's a vendor for some inventories, or what type of vendor it is. So it's a service provider. You can see suppliers, tax agency, consultant. There are different type of vendors are there. Vendors are the people to who you pay. So you
Yeah.
are right. So service provider means like we are paying for our electricity bill, gas bill. So they are all our vendors. They are providing us services. So service providers, and click OK. So again, now we will be deleting a vendor, but always remember that deleting a vendor is not a good idea. I always tell my students that if you delete the vendor, all of the job you have done with them, all of the data you have about those vendors, like sometimes the vendors are not treating you good, they provide you bad quality products. So you are always updating those data in your feedback. So if
Yes.
you delete that vendor book or something, you will not be able to track those details. So after few months or few years, if the vendor comes back to you, you will give him business again. So always remember that instead of deleting a vendor, it's advisable to inactivate the vendor. So at least you will be
Right.
keeping all of your data. At the same time, uh, you will not be seeing it on the main screen. So
Mm-hmm.
we have to delete the paper palace. So in this exercise, first I show you how to inactivate the vendor, and then I show you how to delete the vendor. So let's say if I want to inactivate this vendor, paper palace, select the vendor first, go to edit, and then you can just make vendor inactive, or you can select the paper palace, right click, and then make vendor inactive. Both the ways it will be inactivated, and now it's not appearing in your screen. But if you select, like here, you see you are only seeing the vendor who are active. Once you select all vendors, it will be like visible to you again, and with a cross sign that shows that this vendor is not active. So let's delete this vendor. How we can do that? First, I'm activating it so that you can see how to activate. So once you have this vendor inactivated, if you want to activate it, like after some time you feel that you want to work with this vendor because of some reason, always go and make vendor active, right? You can also do it from here. Let me inactive it again, add it, make vendor active. So the same way it can be activated. So once so now this exercise is to delete the paper palace. You can just select the paper palace, right click, and then delete. Before deleting, always remember that the balance should be 0.
Right.
Otherwise, you're deleting a vendor, and once the data is gone, you will not know whose balance is it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
once you see that balance is 0 and you want to delete it, click delete. If you inactivate the vendor, at least you have the data. Like if you have some numbers, and if you inactivate the vendor, at least you can see that this vendor, we need to pay this much to this vendor. But let's say if you don't save that data and you delete it, then you will not know. You have to pay $100 to someone, but who is that person? You don't know. So always it's advisable to inactivate the vendor or customer rather than deleting them.
Right.
And then the next thing is, so until now we have learned how to add, edit, and inactivate or delete a vendor. Now the next exercise is how to enter the bills for the vendors. So let's go to that exercise. So see, this part is for the customers. This part is for the employees. So all the transactions that you normally do with the vendors are coming here. So there are only two transactions that you do with the vendors. You enter the bills, you pay the bills, nothing else. Enter bills means
Right.
you you are creating that what you want to buy from the vendors, and then once those goods are with you, then you are paying those bills, like in service industry. So let's start working with this one. We are entering some bills. So the first, again, if you want to enter the bills, there are multiple ways. Either you can go to, because it's about vendors, you can go to the vendors and then enter bills from here, or it's already in front of you. So the beauty of QuickBook is, you remember when we were working with the MS Office, we have the, like, we have all the commands on the top of the in the ribbon, right? We can see all the
Right.
commands. And then if you want to make some commands which we are using frequently, we can put them on the top as a like quick access toolbar, right? On the top of the screen, like here, right? Remember? The same thing. But the beauty of QuickBook is they have already given you the most frequently commands on the dashboard. Like these are all your quick access toolbar. You mostly
Yes.
working with the vendor with either entering the bills or paying the bills, and these two buttons are already in front of you. But you may also work for other things, like you can see bill tracker or printing different type of forms, item list, but you are not using those frequently, so they are not visible on your screen. The same way, we only put very frequently items or buttons on the top of the screen as the quick access toolbar. Here, the quick access toolbar is in front of you, is the dashboard. The same way, if it comes to the customers, see how many items, how many things you can do with the customer's transaction. But when it comes to the screen, you only have like 6, 7 items to work with. So it shows that only the items that you are working most are appearing on your screen. Rest of the items are also available in the tabs. So like you have a lot of options available, right? So let's start working with the entering the bills. So if you want to do any job, like in the MS Office, like if you want to do the pivot table, or let's say you want to use the conditional formatting, you click that button. The same way, you want to create the bill or enter the bill, just simply click enter bills. And then here we are selecting the vendor first. Like we are paying the bill of which vendor? We are paying the bill of GJB Wireless. And then you see all of the important information comes in front of you. Make sure that once you select the name, always make sure that you put the right date, because the terms are net 30. So from this date, the system will be tracking the payment date. So let's say you can see here the date is 5th of November. So it says the payment date, like bill will be due for payment on 5th of December. So always remember that your date should be correctly mentioned. So in this exercise, the date is 10th of September 2023. So 09/12/23. As you know, QuickBooks is very much date friendly as well. You just need to type the number, system will take care of the slashes or dashes, everything. Then reference number is invoice 0616 slash 2023. The amount is 6128, 61.28. And then you see it has automatically adjusted the due date for the bill. Memo is GJB Wireless. GJB Wireless. So we are taking internet facility from this vendor. Internet service payment for August 2023, right? So you are paying August services in September, and then you can press the tab button. Once you press the tab, system will be updating this information. Tab, and now you see whenever we are updating the bill, we need to pay it from the specific head, like from the specific expense account. So once whenever we are updating our bills, we need to make sure that we are paying it from the right specific expense account. Why? Because at the end of the year, we want to see on which
Right.
expense account we are spending more money, so that we can either control it or we can find the ways to reduce our expenses. Let's say if we are spending more on internet, we can find other service providers and see who can provide us at a cheaper rate. Or let's say if we are paying more rent on our services, then we can see some other premises where we can open our office or shift our office to get the benefit of rent. So all of these things are happening in business all the time. So here we'll be putting our expenses in a specific head, which is uh, internet expenses. So just click it, and then you can see here it is interest. So 61,700, 61,700 computer internet expenses. So here is my expense for this item. I can select it, and then so now what we want to do is we want to make sure that whenever I am selecting this expense, whenever I am paying this vendor, I always buy the internet from this vendor. So I don't have to select the computer and internet expenses all the time. So what I can do, I can just simply go to the right corner and click the edit button. Once I click it, I'm in the customer's profile. I can go to the account settings. Like you remember, I show you that
Right.
a place where we can update for which item we are paying. So here I can select we are paying this vendor for the computer internet expenses. So next time when this customer we are paying, we will be having the information, like we can directly receive this expense account directly in that place. Click OK. So now if we create another bill, this portion of the expense account we don't need to fill in, it will be automatically coming in. So once it is done, now here comes the another part. They want us to edit the bill. Like here comes our 30 net 30. They want us to change it to net 15. Like there's another amendment during the bill creation, so we make it net 15. So once we create it, you see, you change the bill terms. Like previously you need to pay within 30 days, now you have to pay within 15 days. System
Right.
has adjusted the payment date. But once you save it, save and close or save and new, so we have to do more transaction. So save and new. So it tell us that you have changed the terms of GJB wireless. We have changed this term, right? So you
Yeah.
say, do you want to keep it for this transaction or you want to keep it for forever? As per the book, we have to do it for forever, right? So clicking yes. So one bill is created, like without any, we just give the basic information like who is the vendor and how much to pay and what is the date of the bill. So basic information we put in there, and then automatically the bill is generated. So let's
Right.
do one more thing, one more transaction. We are paying one more bill, like we are creating one more bill for the insurance. So Rankin Family Insurance. We will be paying to Rankin Family Insurance. So it's not there. So let's start typing the name of the vendor. Sometimes it's possible that you are making a bill, but the vendor is not there, right? So either you can select the add new from here, or you can just start typing the name of the company, Rankin Family Insurance. Once you type and you find that this vendor does not come up here, right? So you can just simply click
Right.
tab. Once you click it, so you'll be having two options. Either you can quick add or you can set up the entire information. For this exercise, we need to set up the entire information. If we select quick add, system will add this vendor in our vendors book, but all the other information will be blank. And then we can just update all the information when we want. We have available, like we have those data available. But right now, we already have available these data, so you can also update the data right away. So let's click setup, and then we can just update all the information, which is uh, we have the customer name, control C. I'll be updating it here, control V. And then the customer name is you can say the contact person is Mrs. Mary Rankin. Mary Rankin. And then she is the owner or agent. Owner or agent. Phone number is 650 650 555 7762. And the address is, I can type address directly from here. Like I can type after Rankin, I can type 1456. Let's do that part this time. Main Street, then Bayshore, 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 comma, California 91547. So once you add the address, make sure you can check it inside the edit button if it is put in the right place or not. So I can see that my information is put in the right place, like city name is correct, state is correct, zip code is correctly like placed in the right place. Just click OK. And then we have the same address for the shipment from as well. So we can copy it and click OK. So my detail of the vendors is updated. Uh, and then click OK. So now you have updated the name of the vendor. So all the information that you have updated are appearing in this place. So now we'll be updating the bill details, which is like the bill date is 9/10/23. It's already updated here. Invoice number is
769
76908.
2023.
Right. The amount is 125.49, 125.49. And then the memo is Rankin,
Comma
Rankin
and
76908 2023. And then you can just click tab. Again, we are buying insurance from them, so it is our insurance expense. Click it and try to find the insurance expense from here. We have the numbers available. We can check it from the numbers as well. But normally, if the company does not have the numbers, you can also search it from the name. So search the name properly, insurance expense, and then this is it. So we just need to create two bills. We have already created them. Just say save and close. So now we will be learning how to pay the bills. So we have learned how to create the bills. Now we are going to pay the bills. Just a minute. So now we are into the pay bills. So you see, as we can see from, we have created few bills, right? If I want to pay Rankin family bills, I can click the enter bills, and then I can search for the bill using these arrows, right? And then we see in the name here, I'm just looking at the names, and then I can find the right bill. Let's say if I want to pay this bill, I can simply go and select here pay bills. So this bill will be like gone to the payment. But right now I don't want to do that part. I just want to show you how to work as per the book. So I'm just closing it from here, and then I'm selecting it from this. So always remember, there are multiple ways of doing the same thing. It's
Right.
only how you prefer. So right now, once I click the pay bills, all the bills that are pending are appearing in front of me. So from here, I can just select the bill, which is Rankin Family Insurance. I can select it, right? Once I select it, I can put the date as, and just type the date, which is 9/18/23, 09/18/23, tab. So the payment way is checks to be printed. Why we select to be printed? Let's say if I have to print, let's say I have to issue all of these payments, and I am like, if I start giving the assigned check number, I may issue by mistake multiple checks with the same number. Like I can issue the wrong check numbers. So
Okay.
what we say to be printed, and then we always give the first number, and the system will track all the next numbers. So automatically, the chances of making mistakes will be less. So to be printed, and then we have the checking account, like we'll be issuing the check from the checking account, and
Right.
then uh, just select pay selected bill. So once you do it, it says, okay, this is the check, this is the payment to be done. Do you want to like pay more bills, or you want to print the checks? So let's say in this exercise, we are saying pay more bills, right? So
Okay.
select pay more bills. And then in this one, we are paying So right now what we have done, we have selected one bill, the insurance bill, to be paid
Yes.
in full, right? Now we want some other thing, like we want to pay the internet bill, but not in full. We want to pay the internet bill in partial. Let's say we don't want to pay 61.28, we only want to pay $50. So select it and just type $50. Click tab, and then you can just simply go to the pay selected bill. Again, you have the same thing here. Uh, you'll be paying by check. And then of course, and then you can simply say pay selected bill. So uh, mode of payment and other information I checked, there is nothing they mentioned. So it means it will remain the same, like it will be paid on the same day, because we don't have the date here. So it means we are paying on the same date. Check number will be coming automatically because we have already created one check. This is the second check, so we say that to be printed. And then ending balance, I am not concerned because it is tracked by the system, but I want to make sure that it is going from the checking account. So once I am happy with all the information which is here, I can just simply say pay selected bills. So now there are two bills available, right? One
Uh-huh.
is the insurance and the other one is the what's it called, the uh, the internet. So now we we put all of these payments for payment. So and then click they do. Just a minute, let me see if they want to print us or they want us to. Okay, so they don't want to print right now. So just we are done with it, so you can just simply click done. So we have already created two checks like which are in the queue, but as
Right.
soon as we give the check numbers, they will start printing. So now we do another exercise where we are uh, like writing few, like some checks. So let's say if I want to issue a check to some vendor, apart from paying the bills, I can also write the manual checks from here. So if I click write checks, and then I'll be selecting print later. See, it's selected. Why? As I told you that we always give the check number once we are printing, so that we don't have to remember all the check numbers by ourselves. System will track the check numbers. So select the print later, and then we are creating this check from the checking account. So it is also correct. The third thing is the date, 12, 20, 12, 10, 23. So we'll be updating the date here, 12, 10, 23. And we are paying it to Sandy Property. So we are paying our rent, Sandy Property Management. The amount is 750, 750. Click tab, and then Sandy Property rent of January 2024. So we will be putting the remarks here. Sandy Property rent of January 2024. Okay. So once you update those information, click tab. So you see, because we have already updated, not us, but by the system,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
by the person who created these exercises, has already
Right.
created that all the payments going to Sandy Property will be going from the rent expenses. So as soon as we have selected Sandy Property, it has already selected that what type of expense it will be. So it is rent expense already selected automatically. Then you can just simply say save and new. So there are two options, save and close and save and new. Save and new if you want to create more similar checks or more similar bills or more similar invoices, and save and close when you are done with all of your bills or checks or whatever the transaction you are working with. So right now we want to create more checks. So we'll just say save and new. And then again, we will be showing the check. We have to make sure that the print later is already selected. The check number. Oh, this time we are issuing the check with a check number. So just uncheck this one. So once we select it, like once we uncheck it, the check number box become empty. Now we can type the check number, which is 1248. And then the date is 12/30/23. So you can change the date from here, 12/30/23. And you are paying it to Bayshore Cafe. So why there is a difference? Sometimes vendors comes to us, they say that we don't have time. Just give us the check right away, right? So we can issue them the check like right away. We know that the last check we issued it was 1247. So the next one will be 1248. So we are updating it. But if we are sending the checks to the vendors by ourselves, we can always type the number afterwards, like the way we want. So in this exercise, we are just learning that we can issue the check number right away, or we can also issue the check number after creating all the checks and just give the check numbers in one go. So both of these things are possible. So you see, we have issued the 1248 check number and we are giving it to Bayshore Cafe. Bayshore Cafe. Again, because the vendor is not available in our vendor list.
Right, watching, yeah.
So here you can again click the tab button. Once you click tab, you have the option of either you can add it as a setup like the way we did for one of the earlier vendors, or we can simply click quick add. So if we have the information about the vendor, we can click the setup. But if you don't have much information, we can just simply click quick add. Then this name will be added in our vendor list. So what type of vendor, like what type of person this company will be, they will be our vendors. So you'll be selecting vendor and click OK. So once you select the vendor, and then again the like you can continue working on your bill. So the date is done, name of vendor is done, the bill amount is 37.49, 37.49, and then the memo is Bayshore Cafe. Lunch with client, 12/20/23. Right? So once it is done, of course, we need to pay this money from one of our expense heads. So right now, this will be done from the meal and entertainment. So when we are giving a party or we are giving some like party to our staff or the customers or employees, we are expending it from our meals and entertainment stuff. That's a normal habit. Like all the companies are doing the same thing. So just click it and try to find meals and entertainment. Just click it and then save and close. So we just want to create two bills. We already created it. Save and close. That's it. So now we have already created some checks from the payables option, and we have also created some checks by writing the checks. So this is the time that we want to print the checks. How we can do print? Simply click print checks.
Right, print checks.
Now you see all the checks which we have created are coming here, and the last check number we issued was 1248. It's also appearing in this place, right? So
Yes,
so now we will be giving a name number, like we say that okay, print the checks starting from check number 1249, and then once we click OK, all the checks will be printed starting 1249. I am not doing it because my printer is on. It will start printing.
watching.
Okay, just let me see if I can do that. So okay, and here is the thing, like they only want to issue the check for the three. They don't want to issue the check for Sandy Property Management, right?
Right.
So unclick this one. So it is also possible that when you are about to print the checks, you can select which one to issue the check, which one you can still want to keep pending.
Okay.
So let's say we have selected all the three checks and we don't want to issue the check to Sandy Property Management. We uncheck it and then click OK, right? And then it gives me the option, and I thank God that it's already PDF is selected. I thought that if it is selected for my printer, then it has all gone to my printer. So we know that right now all the things will be printed on my hard disk. So yeah, always this is also a good practice to like uh, print it directly on the check, but also it's a good practice to keep the printing on your you can say uh, on your on your dash like desktop or somewhere, so that
Right.
once if the check not properly printed or something, you can always print it one more time. So let's say Microsoft print to PDF on, like it's print to PDF. You can select which type of you want to issue the check, like is it the voucher style, is it the standard or the wallet. As per the exercise, we have to select the voucher style. So it's already selected, and then click OK. So it's all like going to my, so I know that some of the places I don't have a space, like hard disks are full. So I'm
Right.
just saving my desktop. Uh, Let me I create new folder for exercises. So check, uh, just click save. That's it. So now your all the checks are ready. If your checks are printed properly, like you can see on
Right.
your printer, if they're printed properly, then it's fine.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you can just simply click it one more time, right? So how you can do that? Just if your checks are printed correctly, click OK. Otherwise, you can cancel it and then you can print one more time. So my
Okay.
checks are printed properly. I can just simply click OK and it will be done. And my checks are in here, right?
Yeah.
So now let's say if something happened, I can always, like if something happened to my printer, it is stuck or jam or something, I can print it again from here, right? Right.
Okay.
So that is my practice. But of course, your company has some policies. You need to follow those policies,
Right.
right?
Right.
So yeah, just let me pause the recording. But the only thing is, like sometimes we make mistake. Like we have done all the transaction that we normally do with the vendors, but sometimes we make mistakes. So how to you can say correct those mistakes. This is what we are going to learn in the next exercise. So let's say
Okay.
if I make in this exercise, there was a bill that was created, and the amount was done like like instead of uh, 125, the amount is taken as, sorry, instead of 225, the amount is typed as 125. So we want to correct that part. How we can correct it? We can also go directly to the bill, like here, right? And then the bill is about Ricky's electricity. We can select the bill like this, go like this one by one, and then once you find the Ricky electricity, you can also correct it. This bill is already paid, by the way, but we can go search for more bills. See, this is the bill. So this bill was typed as 125. So it means we need to correct it to 225. So this is one way of searching the transaction. But let's say if you're working in a real environment, you don't have like 5 or 10 transactions. You might have like hundreds or thousands of transactions in your system. So selecting this way will be a job that is like very cumbersome. Like you'll feel pain in finding a transaction. So there is another way of finding a transaction, that is go to edit and then find or search option. So
Okay.
right now we are trying to find a transaction using the find option. So first option is find. So we are trying to find a bill, right? So, so let's first select the bill and then the vendor, which is Ricky's. If you don't select Ricky's and if you select find, it will give you all the bills that were created. But you want to narrow down your search so that you can directly pinpoint the right customer, right transaction, right? So
Right.
select the Ricky's electricity, and then find. So now you see it has two bills. One is 245, one is 125, and we are looking for a bill uh, which is for the 3D printer. So you can see one bill is for the stereo system, the other one is 3D printer. So this is the bill that we want to correct, right? Always remember, whenever you are making changes for your vendors or customers, always talk to them first. Always remember this part, uh,
Mm.
so that they agree on the pricing. You see, this transaction we are increasing the price, like we are paying from 120 instead of 125 to 225. My vendor will be happy because I'm paying more. But if the similar transaction is with the customer, if we charge him 225 instead of 125, he would get angry. Otherwise, the other way, if you are like pay, if you have if you have decreased the price, like let's say if you have instead of 225 bill, you are paying your vendor 125, he will get
Mhm.
angry. He will say, why you are reducing my price? You agree on it for 225. But
Right.
if you give this benefit to your customers, they will be happy. Like they will be saying, oh, you asked for 225, now you're charging only 125. They will be happy. So there
Mhm.
are scenarios where the customers and vendors, you can say, are don't like your change in the pricing or like billing. So always talk to them first before making any changes in the bills. And of course, if
Got
you
it.
have sent, ask them to like make something in your bill that shows that it is the revision of that bill or something, so they don't charge you twice. Like let's say if you are sending this bill to your vendor correcting from 125 to 225, right? So once
Mhm.
you make it 25, now the customer will say, I give you one service for 125 and the second service for 225. So now you have to pay almost for $350, right? So that
Right.
become a problem for you as well. So always remember, talk to your customer or vendor and then cancel the previous one and then issue the new one. If you have not issued or sent the new bill or the earlier bill before, then you can change it and then send it. But if you have already sent it, either recall it or cancel that one first. So all of these things are part of businesses. So just remember these things. So we want to correct this bill, right? So simple
Right.
is simply click go to, and we are in the same bill, right? We can go like if you remember, we also set this bill by selecting or
The
clicking
error
three buttons,
bugging
and we
for.
can also go from the find option, right? So what we want to do is we want to change the bill amount from 125 to 225. So I'm just changing this amount to 225, and rest of the things will remain same. I'll just say save and close, or I can just tab it and then save and close. It will say that you have changed the transaction. Do you want to record your changes? Say yes, and then this is done. So now the last transaction we are doing here is, let's say uh, we have issued a check to a vendor and now we found that it was not properly issued. So we are going to void that check and we'll be issuing the new check. So let's do that part. So we have issued a check so to a vendor, right? So
Mhm.
first click the write checks because you want to void that check, and then the check number is 1251. Sorry, the, okay, we have issued a check to Bayshore City Water dated 11/12/23. So you can just simply click these buttons: Bayshore Cafe, Sandy Property, Ricky's. You keep going back. So Bayshore City Water, the date is 11/12/23. So this is the bill that we want to reverse. So what we can do, we want to void it. How you can void it? Very simple. You can click the delete option here. See, if you delete it, that's not the right way. Here you have two
Okay.
options because there's an arrow, right?
Right.
So let click it, and then you can click void. Right now you are in the check, right?
Right.
Option, and then you can select the void check. So both of these options are with you. Uh, it's like as I told you that there are multiple ways of doing the same thing. Either
Yes.
you can right click and do the void check.
Void check.
Right. So there are different ways. Like either you can select the delete, the drop down, and then you can select the void, or you can click the edit button and select the void check, or you are already on the check, so you can just right click and then click the void check. So all of these options are available, right? So let's go with the book. So edit and void check. So once you void this check, uh, change the check number to 1251. So it's already 1251. Okay, so here we'll be updating this thing, like we are saying why we updated this check. Incorrectly processed should have been entered through payables. So here we are updating the reason why we are updating. You see, you remember the reason today, but tomorrow you will not be remember why you have void this check, right?
Right.
So,
That's the reason you do that memo. Yeah.
And if you write it here, once the auditor comes in, they will know that why you voided this check and why you issue a new check. Because you don't only voiding the check, you have to issue a new check. And when the auditor comes in, they will find that, okay, it means the person has issued two checks for the same vendor, so there must be some issue. So what you can do is always void and give the reason. Incorrectly processed should have been through tables, right? Not write checks. So you can write. I'm just typing whatever is mentioned here, okay? And then save and close, right? So save and close.
Okay.
So you remember that you need to issue this 1251 check number again, right? To
Yes.
avoid this check. So let's say if you have issued this check to your vendor, you have to ask them to bring this check back first, right? So once they give you that check back, then you can issue the check, right? So not write checks, and then say save and close. Or if you have issued the check manually, now you're only updating your books. So you don't need to issue the new check, you are only updating your books. So that will be also possible. It depends what is the scenario of the transaction. If you are issuing the manual checks, then the customer is already holding the check. So you are just updating your books. So then there is no need to ask customer to bring the check back. But if you are issuing the check like from the system, then you'll be, because you have voided this check, so you can ask the check back and then you can update this part. So all of these things are possible. Then save and close. So it says like, so it says that it can create a journal entry in the like for reversing the transaction. You say no, because you are issuing the same check in the similar date, right? So you can just simply say no, just void the check, because you are issuing the check in the same date, like in a similar way, similar number of checks, so that uh, like there's nothing changed in the transaction. It's only correction of the entry. And then you go to your payables, and then you have the Bayshore City Water Company bill is already there, right? Select it, and then the payment will be 11/25/23. 11/25/23, and then mode of payment is check to be printed, uh, and then checking account is fine, and then pay selected bills. So we have already selected one bill, which is here. Click pay selected bills, and then print checks. So it's done. Let me show you one more thing. So we remember that 1251 is a check number that was like we are reversing, right? So we know right now in the exercise they did not ask us to print, but let's say if we are about to print the checks, you see Bayshore is there, right? So we can select it, and once we are printing, we'll make it 1251. You got a point? So
Yeah.
remember 1251 is the one that we reversed already. So we can
Right.
issue that check again. So this is the one that we'll be updating and then issuing the check. So you can just simply select 1251 and then once you click the print OK, these checks will be printed. Right now, I'm not printing anything. I'm just showing that this is how it will be
Right.
done. Uh, so that's how you do it. Afterwards is only the reports. Reports is about the vendors. If you want to create any reports, which is about the vendors, so you can just simply go here and vendors is here. All the account aging reports are here. Account payable aging summary is here. So let us do this part. So once I create the report, you can see this is as of today. We are doing the transactions in future. So you can always click this part and click all, and then you'll get all the things that is like payable in future dates. And of course, none of these are actually like due for 30 days or something. Uh, that's why they are coming as the current one. Like these are not the dates which is like due for payment within 30 days or within next 30 days or within next 60 days or something, because these are all beyond the like 2 years. Like today we are in 2020 and all of these transactions are actually due for payment in 2023.
23.
That's why these are all like current. So that's how you can see your reports. Other reports available are like if you want to see your company, how much you are actually like making any year, like let's say this year, you can always go to balance sheet, profit and loss standard. Once you're in the profit and loss, again you see it is for this year,
Right.
but we did transaction in 2023, so you can just simply click all. Then you can see all the transaction as of December 30, 2023. So all of these
2023.
things are possible, like reports are there. You can create these reports in terms of vendors once you are done with the transactions.
Right.
If you remember, we have learned two reports like in detail. One was the profit and loss account,
And
and was the balance sheet. So let's see the balance sheet. Reports, balance sheet standard, or let's go to the standard one. Again, it is as of recent, but we want to make it as of all because we are doing transaction in future. So again, you can see all these reports are ready for, like you can say, uh, uh, for sending to someone or downloading. So you see one thing I want to show you here. This is about, let me minimize all of this. So profit and loss. So how much you make in this year? Like you make in December 30th, 2023, how much you make net profit? 2387, right? Right?
yeah.
You there? You
Yeah,
can
I'm
see it.
here.
Yeah. 2387. So we make the
Right.
profit of 87 in this year, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you see the balance sheet has already shown this income as the profit. Like it has already make it part of our like you can say equity. It has put that money inside this one. It shows that previously we are holding our equity was this much, but now the income is also become the part of equity. Normally it says retained earning. So you can say that if you remember, we learned about the retained earning. So this
Yes.
is how is working. Like whatever you earn that year will become part of the retained earning in the balance sheet, and then you open your book from zero from the next year. So
There we
yeah,
go.
right. So that's how it works. So now I'll be pausing the recording and then we'll work on your screen. Okay.
Okay.
So we can also search the transaction using the find option. So go edit, click edit. So have it in your like recording as well. Find,
Fine.
and you can also search the check by using the option from here. Click the check. Yeah. We know the customer is Bayshore Cafe.
Bayshore Cafe.
Sorry, Bayshore City Water, right? City Water. Keep going down. Bayshore City Water, and then click find option. It shows you the bill, and then you can click go to, and you are in the same bill that you want to correct, right? So yeah,
Yes.
this is what we're doing it, but we'll be doing it in a book way. So just close it one more time. We're doing it with the book. So just close it all. So as per the book, we are searching it using the right check option. So if you can just go to the right checks. which is
Right,
in the
sure.
bank, right? And then click back. Yeah, this one, and try to find the same Bayshore City Cafe. Sorry, Bayshore City Water. Yeah, this is the one. So you found the bill, right? So you want to void it. So how you can void it? Like I show you 3 ways different, but
Boy,
if you
we can.
ever forget how to do it, you can always, yeah, good. So you can always go to edit option and also find the same option. Yeah, good.
Or I can go right here. Boy.
Very good.
And
then the edit option. Go to the edit.
And then I can go to edit and Boider right here too. Where
Right.
is where's my Boider here? Where's my delete?
No, it's
I
not
don't
this
see
option.
it.
Yeah. So just want to do one more time from this one. It has to be here. Do one more time. Click it.
It could be because already
Because you already
the.
we already applied the void. That's right.
Because I apply it right here.
Yeah,
that's why.
You already now it's gone from here as well, right?
Yeah,
because you already clicked it, so it's already applied.
exactly.
So now you are just updating the information, like incorrectly processed, should have been entered through pay bills or something, and just pausing the recording again so that you don't have to watch the same thing one more time, right? So in this one, when you are like in the reports, you have a lot of options. Like you can download the report as of specific, like all the transactions that you have done in the system, or today's report, or this week report, or until this month, or this month to date, or sometimes you make custom. That is the option in the last, and then you can give the dates from yourself on the right corner.
Right.
Just drag it down in the last until the last. No, just drag the dates on the left. Yeah, drag it to the last one. Yeah, and then you see custom. Once you click custom, click it, and then you can put the dates in the two calendars appearing on from and to date. So you can also do that part. So all of these things are possible. Yeah, so all the reports are in the report section, so you can download whatever the report you want to work with. Yeah, select it one more time. Custom one more time. Yeah, all is fine. Yeah, all is fine because so just to give you the idea that you can download a lot of different reports. So yeah, that's the only thing that we need to. So you got it, right?
I got it.
You know,
I got it.
So now we have some exercises starting from page number 80 and going all the way until page number 90. So if you remember, we have some exercises on with the customers, like from page number 50 to 58, I think. For the vendors, exercises from page number 7, page number 80 to page number 90. So do as much exercises as you can, because the more you practice, the more you will be comfortable working with the. If you have any question, I'm here. Otherwise, we are good for the day.
No, we're good for today.
Okay. So see you on Tuesday, right?
Yes, sir.
I just always want to make sure.
That's fine. All right. Have a nice weekend.
Just want to yeah. Let me see. Today is Thursday, right? Yeah. So our next class will be on Tuesday. So see you on Tuesday on 10, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
You too. Bye.
Bye.